Let's not kid ourselves. That good morning text from a woman, it's not just friendly or routine. It's a signal, a test, a window into her emotional strategy. And if you don't know how to read between the lines, you'll keep playing the game without realizing she's the one controlling the board. Hey everyone, welcome back to Psychology Insight, where we unpack the unspoken layers of female psychology and bring clarity to the chaos. So many guys see a good morning text and think it's simple, affectionate, harmless. But in female psychology, nothing is ever that straightforward. A good morning text is never just about mornings. It's a test, a cue, a play for emotional influence. In this video, we're going to reveal why that little message might mean a lot more than it seems, and how your response can either pull her closer or push her away without even realizing it. Let's dive deep into 8 psychological truths behind a woman's good morning text and how you should react to each one. 1. It's a temperature check, not a compliment. When a woman sends a good morning text, it's easy to fall into the illusion that it's all about you, that she's thinking of you, that she genuinely wants to brighten your day. But often, that message is far more strategic. It's her way of checking where she stands with you, without actually saying it. Think of it like dipping a toe into water to test the temperature. She wants to see if you're still warm, still responsive, still interested, especially if you've gone quiet recently, or she feels like your energy has shifted. This message doesn't always mean she wants something more. Sometimes it's just about control. She wants to know, can I still get his attention? And when you respond right away, or you respond with a lot of enthusiasm, guess what? You confirm it. She gets her answer. She knows she still holds space in your emotional world. But here's the thing most men don't realize. The more available you appear, the more her attraction can fade. It's a paradox of human behavior, especially in dating. If she always knows how you'll respond, she stops being curious, and curiosity is the foundation of desire. So the next time you get that good morning message, pause. Don't rush to reply with affection or flattery. Match her energy, or better yet, stay neutral. A simple, calm, good morning, hope you have a good one, says everything you need without over-investing. Remember, her message was never about the morning. It was about the reaction. 2. She's seeking emotional reassurance, but won't admit it. There's a side of female psychology that doesn't always get enough attention, and that's emotional reassurance. Even the most confident woman has moments where she questions her emotional hold on a man. She might have felt distant lately, or maybe she regrets something she said or did. And instead of addressing it directly, she sends a light, non-threatening message. Good morning. It seems sweet on the surface, but underneath, it's her way of saying, are we still okay? Do I still have a place in your emotional world? But she won't say that outright. Vulnerability is risky. So instead, she chooses subtlety. Here's where most men get it wrong. They interpret this as a green light. They see it as an invitation to double down, express affection, or even try to set up a date. But that's a mistake. Because if the only reason she's texting is to feel better about herself, not to build something with you, you're doing all the heavy lifting emotionally, and that imbalance will only grow worse. A more grounded approach is to acknowledge the message calmly without being too eager. Something like, thanks, hope you're having a good day too, keeps the tone friendly but doesn't hand over your emotional energy. That's the frame you want to maintain, confident, composed, and slightly mysterious. She should be left wondering, not reassured. Attraction thrives in that space between certainty and uncertainty. That's where interest is born, and that's where your power lies. 3. It's a test of your emotional discipline. Let's break something down that most men completely miss. Every woman, consciously or unconsciously, tests your emotional discipline. She wants to see how grounded you are, how reactive, how easily thrown off your center. A good morning text might seem harmless, but in her mind, it's a probe, especially if it comes after days of silence, lukewarm behavior, or a moment when she emotionally pulled back. This test is simple. Will you instantly jump into the warmth of her message and show that you were waiting? Or will you remain calm, self-contained, and unbothered? If you respond too quickly or with too much emotion, like, "Good morning, beautiful, I missed you," you've just revealed your cards. You've shown emotional neediness, and women instinctively pull away from that energy. Why? Because it makes you predictable. It confirms that she's in control of the emotional tempo. What she's attracted to, however, is the man who doesn't get rattled, the man who responds like his day was already full, the man who doesn't need external validation to feel good about himself. Your response should reflect composure. A simple "morning, hope you have a good one." No emojis, no overcompensation, just a calm presence. This shows her that you're grounded, not needy, that you lead your own emotional life, that you're capable of connection, but not dependent on it. And trust me, nothing is more magnetic than a man with self-mastery. 4. She's reclaiming control after a power shift. Here's a truth most guys overlook. When a woman senses you're emotionally pulling back, she'll often try to regain her footing in subtle ways. That's where the good morning text comes in. If you've stopped chasing, stopped texting first, or started focusing on your own life, she will feel that shift. And while she may not confront it directly, she'll feel compelled to do something about it. But she won't ask, "Why are you pulling away?" Instead, she'll send something light, innocent, strategic. "Good morning." This is her attempt to see if she still has influence over you. It's not about connection, it's about control. She's asking, have I lost him? Is he slipping away? Or can I still draw him back in with minimal effort? Now, if you fall for this, if you respond too quickly or too warmly, she knows she's still in the driver's seat. But if you respond with presence, not eagerness, you flip the dynamic. Now she's the one wondering. She's the one uncertain. And in that uncertainty, she starts investing more, asking more, texting more. Because when she doesn't know exactly where she stands with you, she'll work harder to find out. That's how power shifts, quietly, strategically, and with emotional intelligence. Stay tuned, buddy. The next 4 truths go even deeper. 5. It could be guilt, not affection. Sometimes, a woman's good morning text doesn't come from a place of genuine affection. It comes from guilt. Maybe she cancelled plans last minute. Maybe she ignored your last message. Maybe she sensed your disappointment, or even picked up on the fact that you're pulling away emotionally. But instead of acknowledging it directly, she sends a friendly "good morning" as a way to smooth it over without being vulnerable. Here's the psychological truth. Guilt creates internal discomfort, and that discomfort needs a release. But saying sorry means taking accountability. That's risky, vulnerable. Not every woman is ready for that. So instead, she uses a text like "good morning" to reset the vibe. To you, it might feel like she's coming back around or showing interest again, but in reality, it's a form of emotional patchwork. A soft, non-confrontational way to ease her conscience without truly resolving the underlying issue. And here's the danger. If you receive that text and respond warmly, as if nothing happened, you're silently teaching her that she can act inconsistently without consequence. That her low effort is still enough to get your full emotional presence. But the man with self-respect doesn't reward avoidance with affection. He holds emotional accountability. So, what do? Acknowledge the message, sure, but keep it neutral. Appreciate that. Hope you're doing well too. No emojis, no flirtation, no chase. If she genuinely cares, she'll show more. If it was just guilt, she'll likely fade again, and you'll have your answer. The truth is, women respect the man who holds a mirror up to their behavior, not the one who glosses over it for a fleeting sense of connection. 6. She's testing for jealousy triggers. Now here's a layer that most guys never see coming. Sometimes a good morning text isn't about connection, it's about manipulation. Yes, certain women will send that message after they've posted a photo with another guy, or gone quiet for days, or made sure you saw her story from last night's party. Then suddenly, ding, good morning. Sound familiar? This is a classic psychological play. She's not trying to reconnect. She's trying to stir your emotions. She wants to see if you're still emotionally reactive, if you're still jealous, if she can still spark curiosity or FOMO without giving you anything real. In other words, she's testing your emotional stability by using subtle triggers to see if you'll crack. If you bite, if you reply fast, flirtatiously, or worse, try to initiate plans, you've just shown your emotional hand. And she knows, he still wants me. I still have power. But if you stay composed, cool, unfazed, she doesn't get the emotional reward she was fishing for, and that does something powerful. It shifts the focus back on you. She starts wondering why you're not reacting, why you're not chasing, why you suddenly seem unpredictable. And unpredictability breeds attraction. So the next time that text comes right after a coincidental social media move, see it for what it is. Stay calm, stay grounded, and remember, if you can't be triggered, you can't be controlled. 7. It's her way of staying on your radar, without commitment. This is one of the most overlooked truths in female psychology. Sometimes a woman doesn't want you, but she doesn't want to lose you either. She doesn't want the relationship. She doesn't want the depth. But she also doesn't want you to forget her. So what does she do? She sends a breadcrumb. Something small, low effort, non-committal, like a good morning text. This allows her to stay on your radar without having to invest in anything real. It's her way of keeping the door slightly open, just in case she ever wants to walk through it again. But here's the harsh reality. You are not a priority. You're a backup plan. You're being emotionally bookmarked for later. And unless you recognize this pattern, you'll stay stuck in emotional limbo, responding to scraps while hoping for a feast. That good morning message feels nice in the moment. It might even spark hope. But if it's not followed by consistency, depth, or effort, it's just bait. So ask yourself, does she follow up with genuine conversation? Does she make time for you? Does her effort match her words? If the answer is no, don't play along. Don't reward inconsistency. A grounded man doesn't chase breadcrumbs. He values emotional reciprocity. So the next time she sends that one-liner just to keep herself on your mind, let her wonder why she's not getting the same energy back. Because a man who knows his worth doesn't settle for convenience. He attracts commitment or nothing at all. 8. She's subconsciously craving leadership and stability. Let's get into something deeper. Beneath the games, the signals, and the emotional tests. Sometimes that good morning message is a subconscious cry for masculine leadership. She doesn't fully understand it herself, but there's a part of her that wants to feel anchored to a man who isn't swayed by emotion, who doesn't chase, who doesn't react, a man who leads. And the first thing she does to test that, she initiates. She sends a message. She watches how you carry the moment. Will you fold into her world or stand firm in yours? This isn't about control, it's about polarity. Masculine energy leads with purpose and direction. Feminine energy feels safest when it can relax into that stability. So when she texts you first thing in the morning, she's asking a deeper question. Can this man handle my energy? Can he lead emotionally, or will I have to? Most men think responding sweetly will win her over, but that actually makes her feel like she's in charge. What she's subconsciously seeking is your frame, your centeredness, your direction. Instead of replying with fluff, try this. Morning. Got a packed day. Hope yours is solid too. Brief, stable, grounded. You've acknowledged her, but you're leading the moment. You're showing her that you have structure, purpose, and emotional direction. And that's what pulls her in. Because while a woman might initiate the text, what she really wants is a man who leads the emotional story that follows. So now you know, buddy, that little good morning text, it's not innocent. It's not random. It's a reflection of her emotions, her intentions, and sometimes her manipulations. But your power lies not in how fast you respond. It's in how well you respond. So stay grounded, Stay sharp, and always lead from your emotional center. If you found this video helpful, smash that like button, subscribe to Psychology Insight, and drop a comment below. What's the weirdest time a woman texted you "good morning," and what did you do about it? See you in the next one.